Hello, mate. Well, I tell you what, here we go again.
Oh,
round 2.
All right, geezer.
Alright, mate.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Oh, loving it. Right.
What have you been doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I was just moving my get away, sit down. Yeah, I've been scoping the golf course, getting me, doing my homework, you know, seeing how our guest, how he was able to win back in 2017. Oh, I might have given the game away.
I'm cramping. I played 2 games of cricket yesterday.
Did you?
Oh, sore. Right, Noren. Bit of personal life, bit of PGA Tour, bit of Europe, DP World Tour, bit of Ryder Cup, bit of technique. He's got to be right up there with one of the hardest working, doesn't he?
What I'm going to say is he's definitely one of the most more intriguing characters to try and understand what's going on in that brain of his.
Yeah.
Because there looks like there's a lot going on, but also I see someone who's made it his own way. Yeah. And there's many copycats out there, many people that want to put the same swing on it. Yeah. Many coaches, you need to swing it this way, you need to swing it that way. And I think the nice thing is Alex has not looked at any of that, and he's gone, I'm doing it my way. 2 fingers to you, I'm doing it this way.
I like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's ask him about that. That's cool.
Well, it's just come to me, but I like that style about him.
Yeah. Because like, there's some golfers that are like extremely talented and just rock up and do their thing.
Yeah.
And he is very talented, but like he's got to put in the hours as well.
Yeah.
And you know, like some players have to work for it, and he has seriously worked for it, which is good.
I'll get you too.
I'm good. I don't know what to do with this. We'll just put it there. Look at that. It's all yours, dude. It's all yours.
How are you, Alex? Where have you
Yeah,
come
all
from?
good. I've been here in London since Saturday morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, good bit of prep.
My coach is up there, Belgium.
Yeah, I actually just saw him on the range.
I know.
Gave me lots of dirty oil on you, you know.
I know.
No, we'll get into that.
then-
About your coaching skills.
Yeah,
man.
and then he, you know, because he has to fly over the Atlantic all the time, so I figured I should do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
For him.
That's good. That is good, man. That is good. Well, thanks for
You
coming
guys?
down, Alex.
Good.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
This is a podcast that you do all the time?
Well,
It's a bit raw. You can get
Okay.
loads of buffalo trays for you. Get on it.
Nice. You also have water?
Yeah, the more you drink, the more we give you.
Okay.
All right. You rocking the same kind of hairdo as me nowadays?
Yeah.
See, just makes me feel so much more at home. That
Yeah.
does, you know. Everyone's got a nice hairdo, right?
Yeah, I like it.
What about you, mate?
It's just like, it's not very nice.
It's not. It's not. It should have some grey in it.
Yeah.
Make us feel at home.
there's a bit of salt coming in.
Is there?
Yeah, a little
is
bit of
it?
salt.
No, mate,
That's-
what are you on
it's
about? You're
taking its-
31 years old.
it's taking
You've got
its
no
time.
salt. Don't insult us, is it?
Yeah, I know.
It's taking its time. Right.
Yeah. Right then, here we go.
Shall we
Alex,
talk some
Okay.
turkey?
let's get down to business, sunshine.
Okay.
This is one of the hardest workers in the game, everybody.
It cost $30 for a dinner in Mexico City, I thought. And I was like, $30 on one dinner? This is insane. I love playing with Rory. If you go deep inside my body, that's the best thing in the world. I want to be able to do that. It's like when you started saying sorry for making so many putts, then you know you're making a lot of putts.
Yeah.
My wife really pushed me hey, did you go out to dinner tonight with somebody?
Good girl.
Go out, don't sit there. I love my life, but I will never be happy with my career. I'm sad to say, but never.
Let's start this podcast
Yeah,
because it's
brilliant.
great to be here, the Life on Tour podcast. We are joined today by Alex Noren. Alex, thanks for coming along. We're here at Wentworth. Beautiful sunny day out there, and
It's beautiful.
got a lot of buffalo trace here. So keep your eyes off that because you've got a big week ahead. But mate, there must be some pretty amazing memories if we sort of dash back to 2017, last round 62.
Yeah.
Some pretty good vibes here at Wentworth, eh?
I know, and yeah, it was one of those days when I remember finishing off the Saturday I was just over the green on the right.
Yeah.
And I couldn't go for the green from just 5 yards off the green, so I was just chip it on the green left, chipped it in the water, double, and I was like fuming. And then I came out the next day and just started holding putts. And I was like, maybe it was something there, you know. And then right when I got done, it started raining. So the leaders had 2 hours of like, it wasn't pouring, but it was rain.
Just enough.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's so hard to look out the windows while you're watching these players. And I was like, you know, I was joking. You didn't get that, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it was tough for them.
See, he's slow to wake
He's
up.
slow,
Yeah,
you know,
that joke
so-
was sitting there for
Sorry,
you.
mate. No, I was thinking of another question to ask you, mate.
Yeah, so then, anyway, I was very lucky, and I had good memories, and it's very nice to be back, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be sunny all week, I think.
Yeah,
It's going to be
stunning.
mega, mate.
Yeah.
It's going to be mega. It's going to be mega. Have you been out there at a practice round already?
Yeah, I mean, we've been here since so we practiced up north on Saturday, and then we played 3 rounds.
Okay, so
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It feels like we should start tomorrow, but we're not, you know?
yeah. So you're a golfaholic by the
Yeah,
sounds
I'm
of
a
that.
golfaholic.
Is it looking pretty similar out there to 2017?
Yeah, they do slight changes on the course, I feel, all the time. I think the little valley left of 17 green is
Yeah.
smaller, like shallower. And some bunkers are gone on 16 tee. You know, the tee
Yeah,
shot
yeah.
left one is gone. I don't know when that was taken out, but it's all these small changes.
I know a weird one. It just looked like somehow like the fairway's just a little bit wider, like a little bit more cut back. Like the first cut looks a little bit more cut back as
Yeah,
well.
17 is a lot cut back.
Is it?
So like it's anything on the right there. If you hit a decent drive,
Yeah.
and it doesn't kick into the rough.
All right.
So
Oh, there we go.
and it's getting firmer. If they don't water this, it will be firm.
Yeah.
I
Bit of
know.
fire.
Good.
I want to just briefly go back to your 62 equal course record.
Okay.
For a lot of us at home, we have no idea what it's like to go
Who
low.
knows?
Johnny does it though. What's your last round?
58 round my own course though.
Okay, there.
They don't have 60.
Still
I think
counts.
in tournament golf. I think.
60.
Yeah, in tournament golf. Yeah.
Okay, flex.
Maybe he should answer the question.
Yeah,
No, man, no,
I'll ask the question
I can't remember any of it.
because the
I
only
was
time
on all fours crawling into the tee at the time. Anyway, go on, carry
the
on.
only time I've shot 60s on the front nine.
Mine was around a lot easier golf course, not like this golf course, not
Right,
a 62 like you.
But like, I guess for us hackers at home, like, what is it like when you sort of go, oh yeah, I'm going low here? Like, what's the feeling? What's the process? Because sometimes, like, even if I'm playing a half decent round, I get the jitters. Like,
Yeah.
what's the zone? Are you just the tiger zone we used to call it?
Yeah, but it's interesting because I don't think you have to play amazing golf. You have to putt well,
Yeah.
and you have to plod your way along, and don't make mistakes. So the best rounds, when I look back at them, it's like when you hit a 5-iron, it's like, well, I can't get all the way back there because it's too tight. I just hit it middle of the green, take a 2-putt. And then the next time maybe you have a wedge in, well, now I can be more aggressive. And then you maybe miss a green, but you miss it on the right angle into the pin. And maybe one of those long putts with that chip goes in. So it's not like unbelievable golf. It's just
A few bonuses along the way.
just plodding your way along the right way, and then obviously holding putts.
Yeah.
Because momentum's a massive thing in golf, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once you said, you just mentioned it,
Yeah.
the putters start to roll, they
Yeah.
start to drop. All of a sudden, the confidence to be able to go that extra couple of inches firmer with your putts, knowing
Yeah.
that you're going to hit the hole, it's going to drop, you're having
Yeah.
it. I mean, what's that like? Because I've always found when you were playing, like, if you're in the zone and you just fall through it, you come off the golf course, and it's like, you try and reflect on your aim, like, I can't really remember it, it's just a nice, lovely blur.
I know, and it's this. It's like the thing. The next day, maybe you have a struggle. You know, you're like a couple over or something, and then you're like, how did I do it yesterday?
Yeah.
So it's like it can't be that far off, but it's more the momentum and the easing into it, and maybe like you feel more relaxed, but you're also more focused.
Yeah.
So. It's like when you start saying sorry for making so many putts, then you know you're making a lot of putts. You
Yeah,
know?
because if we all knew the secret sauce, then we'd be on tap and shooting
Yeah.
62 all day long, wouldn't we? Every day.
No,
But
everyone would be
don't
doing it.
Yeah.
Be too easy. Everyone would be
No,
doing
that's
it.
true,
Yeah.
true.
All right. Well, let's.
That's
You know,
awesome.
we've got you here, Alex, to I guess work you out behind the ropes as well, where it all started. How did you get into the game? Can you remember the first time you picked up the club back at home in Sweden?
Yeah, but my family played the golf course where I play. Open in '86. I was 4 years old, and the grandfather played, the brother just, so it was kind of like join this golf club for free almost,
You
but
got
just,
no choice.
yeah. And then I kind of just, came along, and there was a lot of juniors at the club, and I got lucky with that, I think, joining a club where there was a lot of juniors, and the juniors are kind of priority number one, in Sweden. It's all focused on the kids, and so we were, throughout the years there, we were allowed to have crazy chip competitions on the green, on the practice green, and balls would be flying everywhere, but nobody kind of, complained, and so it was a happy sort of daycare or kindergarten in the summers, and so it was a fun golf upbringing.
Nice. And when do you know, like, obviously we all play sports, all sorts of sports, but when did you sort of go, I'm going to commit to this sport, like, as a full-time serious sort of gig?
Yeah, I mean, like, I played another sport which is popular in the Nordic countries. It's like a simpler version of hockey.
Yeah.
So I played a little bit of football, and a lot of that is called floorball. And I loved floorball, and I played golf, but I kind of, if I did well in a tournament in golf, it was bigger for me. It was more important for me from like the age of 12, sort of. So then when I was 16, I really had to choose, but it was quite obvious choice because I thought golf was so rewarding when you played good. I played plenty of bad golf. I was kind of like you could shoot low but also high, and it was kind of that whole thing. But in the other sports, it was, you kind of won or you lost, and then when you won, like, was it your, was it you or somebody else? It was like lovely to play those team sports, but it was something about golf that kind of, the anxiety, the nervousness, the fun. It was bigger, like emotionally bigger. So that's what probably took me down that lane. Yeah.
Was that like your family also, like, saying which one are you going to choose? Did it come to a crossroads leaving school? What am I doing? My dad said to me, which one do you like? Because I like cricket, football, rugby, golf. Yeah. You're pretty good at all of them. Which one do you prefer? I like golf.
Yeah.
I'm going to go that way. Was that like you?
Yeah, probably. It just, and then there was a golf high school down south in Sweden that everybody wanted to go to, and they only took like 4 guys and 4 girls every year, and it kind of like all went. So my goal was to get in that school. So then I moved away from, like, but it was very similar. But my parents were like, supporting it, and
that's lovely. It's what you need, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I guess when you make your first hole in one at 12, that's gotta, that's gotta change.
Earlier, he was earlier. Look at it.
You can't flex again.
Like
you can't trump his 62 and his ace.
No, I'm not saying anything. No.
So 12, first ace, bang, glorious.
That's awesome, man.
I've never got one.
What club did you use?
I did. I think.
Remember it?
I think 7 iron, maybe 6.
7 iron, same here.
Trumped me again, 7 iron. I was 6.
But it's a short hole. Yeah. It's only 110 yards.
6 is better. 6 is more of a flex.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He's mate, I've watched him with his wins. I've watched him, unbelievable. He absolutely rips it. I didn't have that ability.
Well, let's go to those wins. Crans, the first big win. Can you talk us through, I guess, the journey of becoming a golfer, becoming a professional golfer, and then breaking through? Like, because there must be so much emotion, so much training, so much effort, and that reward of getting a big win on the DP World Tour, that must feel pretty special.
Yeah, and it's that my whole life from probably like 16 onwards, it was like, can I become a player on like a professional and not have to do another job? I wanted to do this, and then in high school I played okay. I was on the national team, but not like the trajectory wasn't clear to get on tour. So then I got into a good school in America, Oklahoma State, and then there as well, it was like I'd never won, but I was, I could become a pro or maybe not. And the coach was super tough on me because I think he saw I had an ability, but he was also like, because Sweden is a little bit nicer. It's like friendlier environment, athletically.
Humble backgrounds.
Yeah. And then in college it was a little bit tougher. So
Mickey bra.
Mickey, and then when I got out of college, you know, it was like obvious that I was gonna try, but I didn't know how well I was gonna do. So, but then to get that first win, and it was kind of started on Challenge Tour. I kind of saw that I could, but it was good with a year on Challenge Tour because I was
for sure.
a little bit fresh maybe, and then mentally I was a little bit like, I thought 4 years in college was quite tough, you know, all that stuff. And then I came home, and I was like, I was happy I kind of missed that first qualifier to European Tour by just a few shots, and then got on Challenge Tour for a good year, and then a couple of years later, for the win,
And what's it like, I guess, like, because it's quite a financially tough sport if you're young, and potentially there's a lot of players on the Challenge Tour in particular that aren't playing well, that are like working other jobs. At what point did you sort of click and like there was a bit of pressure off and you're like, okay, I'm kind of settled here, this is my job, I can do this for a long period of time? Did it take the win to do that?
No, it was, well, I had a sponsor that was gonna give me like, I think it was $30,000 in, but
wow, that's not much.
He was gonna give me 30,000 in 2006 or 2005.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, if I don't make any money now for the next year here, I don't really need that money because I need to have a job anyway.
Right.
So I didn't take that because it was going to be 8 company days for 30,000. I said to myself, like, it's not life-changing to get 30. I need to work anyway. If I burn that 30, I need to work. So then I didn't take it, and my dad was like quite pissed at me.
I can imagine,
he was
man.
like,
my dad would be giving me a
yeah,
kick
but
right
he
here.
was kind of understanding because he was like 8 days, and then you're gonna fly here and there, and he was like, well, okay, you have a goal. Like he didn't have the money to just give it to me and keep going, but then I was like, I kind of made like $1,000 here, two grand on these small tournaments, and then kind of kept me alive, and I didn't spend much money, and then Challenge Tour got a little bit of money, and then it kind of rolled on, but I didn't spend that much, so I could kind of live on like crazy low money for a while. But I remember like it wasn't much, like I didn't relax when I got like a little bit. It was never about the money, so I never really thought about the money. I was so engaged in like, how do I get better? I see these players that I play with, I'm like, I want to hit that shot, I want to do that. And I've been kind of driven by not so much results, but like if I see Rory now, playing with Rory, I'm like, I want to be able to do that. Like I will try my hardest to be able to do that. And like, so it's like, so it was quite good for me mentally because it wasn't about the money, and obviously good to have it to be able to play and stuff, but it was like, I never thought those thoughts.
It's amazing though when you say like having to go kind of hand to mouth from week to week on Challenge Tour, because I remember doing it, you know, thumbing a lift, you going, mate, I need a lift, don't mind rooming, you know, whatever, you know, you got a budget, you're going to the bank, I'm going, mate, can I have another loan? I need another loan. If you don't give me it, I can't pay you back. All right, here's another $2,000, off you go. And then all of a sudden win it back in 1 week, pay the bank manager off, he's happy as Larry, he might give you another $1,000 if you're lucky, and off you go again. I mean, it is the way it is, isn't it?
But you remember when you first bought a nice dinner, like when you know, when you had like, it cost $30 for a dinner in Mexico City, I thought, and I was like, am I spending $30 on one dinner? This is insane.
Mental, isn't it?
And like Mikko Ilonen was on tour for a few years. He's like, we just split it 30 each. I'm like, 30.
I only had an entree.
And I'm like, no way.
It is
like,
though, man. It's unbelievable. It's how the times change. It's brilliant. But I'm a, you know, the grassroots coming up from there. Real appreciation for the hardcore graft that goes on to get yourself over it. It's not an easy task because your heart, you know, your wallet is heavy. Everyone's empty, and you're just fighting for it, isn't it? It's just
but
it's tough out there.
Yeah, but like that about all these the jobs in general. You work hard and you.
Yeah.
But that's why I think golf is like sad when it's too much talk about the money and people go places for money, and it's not good. It's like,
Yeah, because well, there's a big chunk of players that are not in that conversation, but they're still having like a very good career.
yeah.
Like, you've gone on to win 10 times on the DP World Tour. But how hard was it for you, I guess, if you compare it to there and America? Because America hasn't been an overly successful hunting ground for you, but you've also, I would say, you've been an extremely successful golfer, but you just haven't quite got over the line for a victory. So how much different is it in the US versus Europe? And how much harder is it over there?
Well,
or
I
at
think,
least not harder, but...
Yeah, I think the main thing for me has always been like the way I've played since I was young has been maybe a little bit more creative than just like plodding my way along like fairways, greens. But I've gotten better at it. But maybe it's just that like I feel more at home on like a links course. I can see it on my majors, like the majors are better, like British Open's better, like I struggle at some. And then so mentally maybe I don't even think about it when I'm there, but like it is when I get to British Open I'm like, this is it, like I like this. And then when I get to places where you can maybe curve the ball a little bit, or you can hit it in the rough and still get up on the green. I know it's going to be tricky, but you don't need to hit a perfect shot,
Yeah.
Struggle at some places like Muirfield Village when you like, if I do not hit the fairway here, I cannot hit the green.
Tougher the better for you?
Well, it's just like, it's just hard when it's like, you have to hit it here, otherwise there's no chance of hitting the green. That mindset was
laser
like,
focus.
It was like hard from going from Sweden, where it's kind of like easier courses, but kind of like you can always have a shot. If you can hit over a tree, around a tree, or like from the rough, you could still get on the green. And in America, it's a little bit stricter how you have to play it. But I'm working hard to get that first win, and yeah.
Yeah, because like I remember hearing you say like the US Open, for example, would be your favourite major to win for those reasons, because it's so hard and so demanding, and I guess it's one of your biggest challenges in the game, isn't it? So how satisfying would it be to get it done over there?
No, it would be extremely satisfying, and especially like the mental aspect of it, and. But I have gotten, like, over the years when you play in US, when they set up a lot of courses just like the US Open. Yeah. It's like you play maybe 6 courses during the year that is US Open. They get to US Open, you're like, oh, this is kind of like another tournament. That was tougher coming from Europe to a US Open. Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say, I remember when you won, I was with you when you got your win at Nordea Masters in Sweden. You had Dan Parrott on the bag. That was my old caddy, wasn't it? So, yeah, we've got something in common there. But then, obviously, we've done that lovely little link at Cron after your win the next year. Yeah. You got yourself one of those famous little plaques on the walkway there. I mean, that was a nice little touch, isn't it? Yeah. Have you been back up there since?
I have been there. I'd love to play that tournament more. So it's like, but last week I haven't seen my kids for a long time. So then
you got to do.
But I know. I mean that. I think that tournament is beautiful. Like it's
so
so
beauty,
good.
isn't it?
And I hope it goes on forever, because I'll play that when I have a chance.
How are the kids, Iris, Roy?
Yeah, good.
Good.
I trigger them to love sports. I don't care what they do.
Yeah, they have no choice.
Yeah, and then I could hang out with them playing sports instead of like when Roy's like, come on, play with the Legos. And I'm like, we can bring some Lego out to the yard and we, do something.
I'm a fan of Lego as long as it's Star Wars related.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
You
Built
like
myself
it?
a massive Millennium Falcon in lockdown. Couldn't resist it. Just a big kid in me. Just stood there
Beckham, isn't
for
it?
2-3 weeks straight, just going like that. Peace.
I used to do
Millennium
Lego.
Falcon. Yeah.
Really?
And then I dropped it a week later.
Oh, no.
Good.
Lego was the foundations of childhood. It's fantastic.
Oh, mate, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's why you got to go to Billund, isn't it? That's where it's from. Denmark.
Yeah.
What was your worst trait as a child? You're next.
Worst trait as a child.
Like, what would you? How would your parents? How would your
Super
parents?
random.
How would your parents
What do you mean
describe you?
super
You know,
random?
like
I just all of a sudden burst out of the scene and just maybe do a crazy move or maybe chuck my clothes, take my clothes off and go for a run.
Really?
Oh yeah, honestly, just the shock factor. I love the shock factor on people's faces. Just them go, he ain't just done that, has he? Yeah, I have.
That's good.
Yeah, I was always like that.
how would your parents describe you from that young to
I mean,
5 to 10?
nothing as fun as that. But I don't know. They just probably like you know me. Just kind of energy until like sitting down, fall asleep. I'm still the same,
Oh yeah.
but it's hard to change. Isn't it?
Yeah,
It
I
is,
think
man.
my school reports were just everyone was the same. It was just easily distracted. You
Was
know,
it?
shows great energy and passion, but very easily distracted. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the glory of being dyslexic.
As long
really,
as it
isn't
wasn't fun, like you're out.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I was
You're
dyslexic.
dyslexic?
Yeah. I'm ambidextrous as well. I can do bugger all with both hands. It's amazing. Yeah, but I am dyslexic. Yeah, it was a very hard thing. School, I must admit, it was like get me out of there at 16, and then literally just go find your way. A couple of jobs, but then all of a sudden, like you just said, you find your niche, you find what you're good at.
Yeah.
You get the lovely backing, like you said, from your members, family, and stuff like that, and all of a sudden, laser focus, and off you go. And it one track mind, you just love it. You
Yeah.
do it for the heart and the soul.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about heart and soul in a minute about Ryder Cup. Come on, man, that's
Oh.
we got to talk about it because that's the cream de la creme.
No, it is good, isn't it?
It is. So France, come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's get into it because
cut the crap.
Literally, honestly, to me, that put goosebumps on my arms from start to finish. Seeing you come in there, hold that putt down and last, everyone going absolutely bananas. The vibe, the way the course was set up as well. Thomas is your captain. I mean, talk us through it, mate, because it was just monumental just to watch you just take out the Americas in great fashion.
Well, it was. I mean, amazing week on an amazing venue. I think
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was just before COVID or like a year before, and it was like when you think back to it, like when maybe middle of COVID or something, like was that really happening? Like
Yeah.
because it was such a lovely event. Everybody played together, and Tiger just won the
Yeah,
Masters.
he's
no the
East Lake.
East Lake.
Oh,
He
East
won,
Lake,
yeah,
right.
and
18.
yeah, and then a really weird thing about the Ryder Cup. Like I always loved the Ryder Cup and watched it, and then when you play, there's so many things you want to achieve, but like it's always been at the back of my mind. Like I want to play in that. So then, after I got the first point with Sergio in the interview, we won like 4-3 or something like that, or 5-4, and then. And I started crying in the interview, and I was like, I don't know why I'm crying. Like it was
I love
Friday, but it's just like I did. I put a point on the board. It was something like I was like relieved, and I started crying. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm crying. But it must have meant more to me than I kind of almost understood. And then, it was just it was such a cool overall event.
Is it weird to go from such an individual game week in week out to then all of a sudden put yourself stroke play into match play, team effort?
Yeah.
Ain't you whole of Europe?
Yeah.
Come on, man, we got to do
Yeah.
it. Come on, what's that feeling
Yeah,
like?
I mean
Is that why you got emotional? Do you reckon subconsciously?
Yeah, and like to contribute.
Yeah.
Like otherwise you
It's
just
so well
play
good
it for
playing.
yourself.
Yeah.
If I make a bogey, nobody cares. Like but there everybody cares.
Yeah.
And it's just something about it. Like the whole of Europe, everybody's there. It's so important for Europeans to be like successful over the Americans. And it's always been that rivalry and it's just
Well, you're in the crowd and you're on the edge of your seat in front of your TV
Yeah.
at home, and you're like, come on, the will, determination from every Tom, Dick, and Harry looking on,
Yeah.
just wanting you to all that or get it close from wherever. I mean, the backing you got is colossal. I mean, I could only imagine my heart would be in my mouth and I'd be shaking. So, no, I mean, let's just talk about your last putt on the last hole. I mean, before the all celebrations really kicked off, what were you feeling over that and when that was rolling in?
Yeah, but so I had a chance to win it on 17 and 16 and 17.
Yeah.
Started to go up, more up, and then finally winning on 17. But then came down to the last, and he started off by hitting a 6-iron to.
So he hit it to like 3 feet.
3
not
feet.
Even, yeah.
So I was like,
This is
God,
Bryson
like,
for people who don't know that. Yeah,
Bryson,
a young
and then,
Bryson.
Yeah, and then I hit a 8-iron, like kind of not a great shot, not a horrible shot,
Safe.
to about like 40 feet or
Yeah,
something.
that was it.
And then I'm looking at I'm like, I can't make him putt this. Like, he was 3 feet. He could have missed, but or 2 feet maybe. I'm like, you take that. And then I looked at the putt and I asked Lee, my caddy, Lee Warren, and I'm like, can you just have a look? And he didn't really read that much for me at the time. But then like earlier that year we played French Open, and I had a similar putt but to a back left pin, but I was in the similar, and I'm like, this is kind of the same amount of break as that putt, and I just missed it high, and I was like, this is so similar. So like I told him like, hey, don't worry about it, like I got this putt. And I stand over and like hit it, and I'm like, that looks so good. And I was like, that looks better and better and better. And now and then like it's like 2 cups out of left. And after, with like 10 feet left, I'm like, now it's going to start going right. And it's like, go right? It's like a freaking joystick, you know? And it goes, and I'm like, oh my God.
Here we go.
Middle of the hole. And I was like, yes.
And the boys run on.
Yeah.
It was a
was
circus.
so
It
good.
was just because it's quite a weird one. The match had already
Yeah.
been. You were playing by yourself for 40, 50 minutes, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you almost had time to build up. So it was.
Yeah.
Must have been awesome to actually finish with a bang.
Yeah, and especially when everybody was still there, and it was kind of like a second cheering, you know. For like first we won the match, and then now we kind of put a little fun, extra fun.
With the water behind you, you weren't tempted to just like turn
Yeah,
around
I
and go
wanted
for
to
a
see
full-on
someone.
dive?
I wanted to see someone.
know.
Alone.
Triple toe loop will
But
give you 10 out of 10.
the thing was like, I was gonna throw the putter in, but then I was like, this is the
I
best
saw
putter
that.
I've ever owned,
You
and I
sort of-
still have it.
No, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I was gonna throw it, and then I stopped myself. I was like,
back.
I really need this putter.
But then you could have paid for someone out of the crowd to go in there. They'd be
I
very
know.
happy. And then you give them a couple of balls,
I
man. They'd
know.
be over the bloody moon.
Yeah, well, I also want to know, like, it's all well and good to see the celebrations on the camera, isn't it, Joey?
Well, yeah.
But, like, I want to hear what happens, you know,
After.
off camera. You know, the bus trip home, you know.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
I know what happened. You probably got one of these, did you?
You know,
No, that's a celebration, isn't
If
it?
you insist.
that is it. And then we,
just open it if you don't mind.
yeah, no, go ahead. And
cheers.
no, but I think we ate some in the locker room there at the club, and then when bus ride home and party at the hotel. My wife was like super pregnant, so she didn't drink. So, but it was fun. We had a great time.
Who would, like, take us into the sheds, you know, a couple of hours after victory, the Ryder Cup's been handed around, luckily before COVID, you know, imagine knowing, sharing that cup with COVID, but, who out of that Ryder Cup team would be the biggest party goer in an evening like that?
On the European?
Yeah, well, I'm not talking about the Americans.
No. I mean, everybody's pretty good. Like, Europeans are like, we're used to working hard.
The crowd's good,
and then a
but-
little party here and there. The
I
crowds.
wouldn't mind if I do. Do you participate?
Go ahead. I can have a sip.
There you go. There you go. I'll pass you that one, mate.
Thank you.
There we go.
I don't barely drink whiskey, but this looks very good.
Mate, a nice little bourbon, mate.
Yeah.
A nice little bourbon. There you go, sunshine.
Cheers, son.
Yeah, there you go. Nice little fragrant taste. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you, Alex. Well done, boss man. Well done, mate.
Cheers.
Well done, partner. Happy days.
Good to see those rugged hands up close, actually. They're actually looking pretty nice. Have you
They're
been
looking pretty
moisturising?
good.
You've been
Has he
moisturising, mate.
Mate, this is one of the hardest workers in the game, everybody.
Office hands.
And the
No
best-
doubt about it.
But the best thing is to live in a humid place.
Ah.
So like in Florida, it's unreal for my hands. I can hit how many balls I want, and it's
Yeah.
all good.
Soft and sweaty.
Then you get
moist.
tennis elbow instead, and that's not good.
No, that ain't good. That ain't
That
good.
is not good. This
That
is
is not
very
good.
good.
Yeah.
Mate, it's all right, isn't it?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
But neck it, I'll give you another one.
Hey, he's got a championship to go win.
Yeah. It's
Prime day
Tuesday.
tomorrow. Prime day tomorrow. Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is it Tuesday?
Yeah, mate. See, you've been on it too often. You can't remember what day it is. Anyway, me and Alex.
Still thought it was
so
a
let's talk
weekend.
about how hard you work. I'm really intrigued because
Were you a hard worker?
was I a hard worker? I was more of an on-course kind of guy. I never really went to the range. I had a simple kind of idea. My coach would just tell me.
So you
a
guys
few
are
rights and
opposites.
Yeah.
we are opposites. We are, but I think our mindset's pretty soon because when you're in full flow, you're in automatic pilot. It's just constant go. But I did all my hard work to get on tour. I grooved in the swing. I knew what I needed, and then things clicked. And my coach, who looked like a 70s porn star, you know, he had the mullet and the tash. He was an amazing looking guy.
You knew what
And,
70s porn stars look like?
No, just assumed.
Sorry, yeah.
Well, just thinking of Dirk Diggler. Remember that
just
lovely movie with Mark
checking.
Wahlberg? It was brilliant.
Didn't know they had Wi-Fi back then.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But, you know, he told me a few little drills and they stuck with me over the years. And, like, literally just, like, kept going and going at it. And literally, I could always, when I was away, I could fall back into it. And I could phone him up and he'd just go, John, do you remember that little drill? And he'd have one of 16, 20 ideas that made the same move. Do you know what I mean? Just a feel.
Yeah.
Like an idea.
Oh, okay.
Like an idea, you know, feel like you're doing this, like you're at home doing a garden, you're in the garden. What would you do if you were doing this or chopping down a tree? You do this or do that. He said, do that feeling again, and off I go, you know, and I would do it. And literally put me straight back in the zone, hit one shot, bang, and it come down to like a shorter kind of follow through. You know, he would, to get my strike back in, it'd be a shorter follow through, so I'd have a bit more whip at the bottom of the club, and I'd be stronger. Do you know what I mean? Just be strong. Don't be lazy.
Just more
Do you know what I mean?
lag and better hit.
Yeah, exactly. So I do that, me personally, and that was my quick fix, and off I went. But I was like you, I was more, you know, I know you cover every basis. Don't want to be about me, but I was always on the chipping green.
Oh, okay.
Always on the chip. I just love flop shots. And
Wow,
I know
that's
I know
something
you're a
you guys
master flopper.
But
We
but
love
did you
that.
always have a good, like, general swing? Like, you know.
I had a three-quarter, I would say three-quarter swing, and three-quarter going through. You know, luckily my stature, I was quite tall, big kind of build, so I had the power there, and the levers. I was quite wide,
right.
and I was quite flat. You know, and I kept it on plane, and obviously that's why I was a big drawer, a big slinger of the ball. Always found it hard to cut it, but then I found, you know, I'm going to tell you a trick. I'm going to tell you something now, and you made me be able to fade it.
Oh wow.
Watching you, because of your actions.
Yeah.
No, your action ain't normal, in a nice way, but it's a lovely normal.
it's
It's
unique.
not. It's unique, but I love unique, right? Because there's a lot of similarities out there in the world right now, and I just like it that you bring your own game. You don't listen to anyone, you do your own thing. You've got loads of players wandering along. They always stop. They always watch, right? And then, you know, go to the chipping green. You're hitting these flop shots, and then all of a sudden they're just looking at you, going, "How'd you play that?" You know, and they're always coming up to you. You know who they are.
Yeah.
You know, and they're always asking, "How have
Sometimes.
you done it?" Because you are a bit of a magician, man. Well, a big magician, I think. How have you done it?
Yeah. Well,
That was a long question.
yeah.
I know, but it's kind of like
But I
going my
loved
way
it.
and his
No,
way.
but I've always been interesting. Well, I've actually, like, I'm not very good at math and science and stuff in school,
Yeah.
but I always kind of understood, like, how a club or how a tennis racket or a ping pong racket has to come in
Exactly.
to create this and this. And I was like, when I play ping pong, I'm not very good, but I can kind of see, like, if he does this, I gotta do this. So it's like that comes easier to me than, like, a pure golf swing. Let's say, like, you want to stand straight up and down, take it back on plane. I was like, that stuff's hard. But, like, if somebody tells me, like, you have 5 seconds, go behind this tree, you have 5 seconds to hook it, 5 seconds to fade it, you know, and it needs to be somewhere around the green, I can do it. But I'm not, that's why, very interested in technique to kind of take those. That felt easier for me than to just hit a dead straight drive. You know what I mean? So,
That's great.
I
so it's the
resemble
same
that.
with, like, short game. I'm like, okay, if you're downslope and you're short-sided,
Yeah.
like,
Eyes come
I
alive.
hate when people like, well, just hit it
bail
to
out.
10, 15 feet. It's like, well, it's got to be a way. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I will try it under the gun. Is
Yeah.
like maybe the way is to put it 10 feet or 15 feet or 20 feet, but it's pretty fun to just try it. So
Definitely.
then you know, you try it and then maybe you use it, and sometimes you know, it's been helpful, and then sometimes it's like, well, maybe I should just hit the,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
but yeah, that's been like interesting to me.
You had some injuries though, didn't you?
Yeah, so I mean,
And you had
kinda-
to change your swing because of it.
Yeah, like a kind of injury from a tree root under sand in college that kind of like started.
Yeah.
But then from 2014 onwards, I haven't had that many. So like I've only had, since I met my like last physio coach, he helped me a lot. Since 2016,
Yeah.
no injuries except for a little tennis elbow this year, but just a couple of shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
We've been watching on the range a lot, and there's that obvious movement you've been doing
Yeah.
where you twist the knees and get your arm. I guess probably your arm drops on the inside quite a lot. Am I right? Well, that's your miss or your naughty thing when it comes in low and you've got to try and find the face, right?
Yeah.
So if you're coming down more square or feeling more
Yeah.
square, that's when you're in a good zone, right?
Yeah.
So could you briefly, I guess, tell us what that drill is with your knees? I can see your caddy.
Yeah.
Caddy's got a tough job.
I know.
Working the knees,
And-
like, you know,
and
is that in
then-
his job description?
Was the crowd
Yeah.
over his left shoulder? You think he's going to hit it straight over there at him when it stood on the tee box?
Like, briefly-
The best thing about my caddy now, he's like, I don't care if you think we look dumb. I don't care about anything.
Yeah, good way.
I just want to get better. I'm like, that's my man.
That's my man.
That's your man.
So then, it just that I've always, like, since I was little, like, I have the easiest time to hit the biggest hook you can imagine. Like, that's the
Yeah.
easiest. Because if I just swing into an ocean, just hit a ball into an ocean, to drop it inside and sling it, it's the easiest thing
Right.
for me. And so I kind of don't use my lower body much, and I kind of like, I used it more when I was younger, and then I kind of not done it so much lately. And then in Vegas last year, I was kind of struggling I don't know what I was on the lists, but I was on a downward spiral, and Matt Belsham came over. He's like, well, you just have to square up your knees at this time in the swing. Your knees have to be square. Your hips has to be open at this point. And I was like, okay, I'm going to make this easy. I'm just going to work on that for a year now. So that's the only thing we kind of worked on. And it's been good because I turn less on the backswing. So my coach is always like, turn as little as you can on the backswing. The least amount, never more than 90 degrees, preferably 70,
Wow.
80%, 80 degrees. And then you just take a rip because you're forward and you're not behind it stuck.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah, exactly.
Because then, like, you can be inside and play a draw all day if you like that, and
Yeah.
if you're comfortable with it. It's like, but I haven't really been comfortable with it, so I need to get to the fade sort of
Yeah,
mechanics.
yeah, I understand that.
Because putting's never really been an issue for you, right? Putting's your sort of safe zone. You don't need to practice that as much.
No.
In particular.
No.
Because I remember, like, you didn't miss a 3-footer on the PGA Tour or something for, like, 390 something rounds or
Yeah.
something barbaric, which was a record at the time. So that's probably why you're like, okay, let's just be a range rat.
Yeah, but lately I've been. The thing is, I don't want to be a range rat.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, but I've had so much. It's like sort of a cocktail of anxiety, willingness to like improve, and not really knowing what to do, or like having too many things.
Right.
So like the last year, I don't think I ever been. And my caddy said the same. Like, you haven't done anything else than just do pretty much the knees, and like open up. So like try to get the club, obviously, but it's mostly the knees, and then the club gets more on top of the ball anyway. So I've done that for a year now, and I have. If you ask anybody, I don't think I've spent more than hour and a half or hour in a row on the range. Before I could stand there forever because I was like, oh, I'll try this.
Right.
And like after half an hour, it's like, oh man, that doesn't work. And like,
Yeah.
and you just go around in circles. I mean, and then you go up in the morning, and you can't sleep because you don't know where the ball's going. I'll try this. And then like you wake up the next morning, you're like, what was it that actually worked? Like
you
you're
can't
like
remember
searching in
this.
your head. I mean, it's horrible.
It is horrible, man.
So yeah.
Can I, if you don't mind, can I touch on that anxiety part? I don't want to dive too deep if you don't want to, but like, what anxieties do you go through? Like, what are some of the extreme thoughts and the tougher thoughts that you have to go through as a professional golfer?
Well, it's like, first of all, maybe losing the rights to play tournaments you want to play. I mean, not being able to play in the way you want to play, like that's pretty depressing to me. Like, that's why I have it's like I love playing with Rory. Like that's if you go deep inside my body, that's the best thing in the world. But also, it's like I measure myself like against every shot he hits, every shot I hit. It's like, okay, here I actually did really well. Here I got no chance. Here I'm even. Here I got no chance. Like, so, and I've always really wanted, like, I'm admired by any person that's like incredible in their field.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's like quite depressing, and then anxiety comes with it. So like, there were other anxieties maybe earlier of like, oh, I don't want to shoot this score or that score, but now it's more the like maybe I have 10 years where my body is good enough to be able to play in a way that I want to, and I haven't reached that. So that's like, aspiring or inspiring, motivational, but it's also like a little tough.
Because you have a lot of, as a professional golfer, you have a lot of time by yourself. You're travelling, you're spending 5 hours playing golf with your caddy, but pretty much in your own head.
Yeah.
Like, it must be tough at times to find a balance mentally and not beat yourself up, because it's a horrible sport sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, and this from like playing in Europe, I always had, it was like you had friends, like without thinking you had friends. You had all these Swedes, or you had all these English, and the Scots were here. Like, and you also know other people, and they don't travel so much with their families. So you always had dinners, like.
Yeah.
But in US, I've been trying to like, kind of like work on my game so hard, so I stay in the room thinking about it, like, because they're more spread out. And if you don't arrange a dinner with somebody, maybe like, I'll just have room service, and then you think even more about the game or something you did that day, like you want to improve, or you're angry, or but I'm like, but my wife and like really like push me, like, hey, did you go out to dinner tonight with somebody?
Good girl.
Go out. Don't sit there and just think. And I was like, I was very thankful for that, like, and like, just go out with whoever you find, like, do something, because she knows me by now, and like, and it's just been really helpful to kind of like, you can't think about it for 2-3 hours or whatever,
True.
Yeah.
And that's the toughest time, I think, on your own, because it's like, and your kids are at home, and send pictures of like, oh, we're at soccer practice or football practice, we're at this, and we're having so much fun, and you're like, oh my god, like, I missed that, but I also want to be here. So it's like trying to make the most out of your time on the road too.
What's it also like, really getting outside the ropes now, like balancing a relationship as a golfer as well, because like you're spending so much time overseas. You've got an amazing wife who's got her career as well, and then you got the kids now. Like, how hard is it to juggle
That's
a
why he
relationship?
married her. That's why he married her.
Like, seriously though, like it's not easy.
It helps a lot when, like, we made a kind of a deal with the kids go to school, they have all their friends, they don't travel much on the road. It's been great, I think.
Yeah.
Then other couples maybe have other plans and it's going as good. But for us, it's been great. Like, kids have fun with all their friends. I'm on the road. They don't like, and the kids are 5 and 8, so she's not like in the toughest years.
Yeah.
And she really likes being home, and like, it's fine. It's kind of like I'm the one who's like, I missed him,
Yeah.
you know, like, but they have their life. I have mine out here, like, and then we have ours together. So it's not that bad. And like, I'm doing like an incredible job. I mean, I love
Yeah.
it. So it's not like I'm,
Nice, yeah.
you know, like suffering, you know, and you know, just for the
You're just playing golf, mate.
yeah.
You know?
You ever tempted to do a John Daly, David Slever by Winnebago? Go on the road with them?
The what?
Winnebago, you know, the big old Winnebagos, the big old trucks with that come out the sideways and just
no.
park it up in the middle of the golf course. And
Because my kids came out 3 holes this year. Well, they came out 2 more, but they were like, Dad, like, I'm sorry. When I came home, like, this golf thing, we're not gonna be golf pros because that is so boring.
they
I'm
want to
like,
go to Disney World.
yeah, they want
Yeah.
to do this stuff.
It
But
is
it's like
like-
probably a weight on a par 5. And they're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
For
When we go to
outsiders,
Islands
that-
Adventure, Dad,
Yeah.
come on, I want to go
Come
on that
on.
ride.
If you're not into golf or you're not into cricket, for example, like, so boring. Like, there's so many people, they're like, oh, what do you do for jobs? Oh, golf. And I'm like, I can understand that you
Yeah.
find that really boring.
Yeah, but it's like, and then you get into it and you can't let go of it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
I'm into baseball now all of a sudden because the kids love baseball.
Wow.
It
But
is-
then that's...
But it's unbelievable when you get into it. It's like cricket. I mean,
Yeah,
like
of course,
if I
man.
get into cricket, I'll love it probably.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll get you into cricket.
Yeah.
But I always say to this to your friends and family, it's like cricket, you just sit there in the sun. Golf, you sit there in the sun, have a few
Yeah.
drinks. You don't have to watch every shot.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah.
Alex, tot off for 9 holes. I'll meet you at the turn. I'm going to
Yeah.
be having a few bevs at the halfway hut. You know,
Easy.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a great life.
What's not
It
to
is
like?
a great life.
Yeah.
It is a great life. Well, mate, it's nice to have you back anyway, bud. It's
Yeah.
nice to see you over here.
Yeah, it's
At
bloody
Wentworth,
good.
and I can't wait to see if you shoot another 62 again.
That would
That's
be
for sure.
lovely.
I mean, what is it going to take around a golf course like that? The setup compared to what it was 2017, just flipping back when you won and shot that amazing 62. I know you're in the clubhouse. You had a long wait. The weather came
He'd had
in.
about 10 whiskies by the
I-
time. Imagine
well,
if there was a
probably
playoff.
lucky to win a play. Yeah, exactly. Lucky to win a playoff. But atmosphere as well around here at Wentworth. I mean, what's it like?
No, I say that to anybody that plays over in America too. Like, go over to play Wentworth. It's unbelievable. It's the best event. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, man.
And the people, the golf course, the history. I mean, it's like it's just pure.
It is.
It's like it's
I
just
didn't see a
great.
stand. I didn't see a stand though selling Swedish meatballs. So I am sorry. Next year, I promise you, I'll have
Swedish
one. all right?
meatballs. Everybody kind of, you know, raise it to the skies, but it's not a great. It's just
I know
you
it
just
ain't,
shove
mate.
it in
It's
your
something
face
you
and
get
like
in
for
IKEA,
lunch.
isn't it? For threepence. It's
Yeah,
like that.
it's just like it's like a. So
Sorry.
Well, Alex, we've dragged up
Yeah.
a lot of your time, but I want to just finish with saying, we talked about careers and like, what is a good golf career?
Yeah.
Can you paint a picture or tell me the rest of your story to summarize what would be a good career for you? What do you need from here to sit back in 20 years' time and go, gee, I've had a good career?
well, I think it's.
If you haven't already.
I don't think it's gonna happen because I'm not that kind of person. I think because like I will never be happy with my career. I think like it's sad to say, but like.
Yeah.
But like what and
You're a
what does it
perfectionist, man.
matter
You're a
too?
perfectionist.
Yeah, and what
That's
does
what
it
comes with it.
matter? Like you know, like it's like I would never put a trophy somebody can see. Like you did that, and like I'm like yeah, but you're a great banker or a nurse. You wouldn't put up all your accomplishments. Like I just want to be good at hitting a ball and like be better than all the guys I play with. Like if I feel like I'm that, I would be. I mean. If I was Tiger or Federer or Nadal, Messi,
Yeah.
I would be amazingly pleased.
Yeah.
But I have a long way to go to that. So, but I love my life. Like I love my life. So, but I will never be happy with my career. I'm sad to say, but never.
So if you won the Open Championship Royal Portrush next year,
Yeah.
that wouldn't be enough to go.
No,
that wouldn't be
no.
enough to
'Cause
satisfy.
I say no. Like I mean.
You want more?
Yeah, I want 10. Like I want.
he wants more.
If I was.
Boys got to eat. Love it.
No, but it's like and I'm not sad about it.
No.
Do you want more?
I need more. I
you
need
need more.
more. But I'm really happy about my life and like it's great. Like golf is giving me like
it's
everybody here in the room. I think everybody like golf is amazing. It's like an amazing sport, and then
Yeah.
you know, I'm just happy to play golf. Like Yeah.
Well, mate.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
We're
son.
happy to watch you, mate. So thanks for entertaining us. Thanks for, I guess, telling us your life story here today. It's been great to get to know you better. And
If it's any interest to any viewers, I can't believe it's interesting, but
well,
it is maybe for somebody.
I like
absolutely,
it, man.
mate.
I like it. I just fascinated with your swing, the way you go about in life, the ebbs and flows of the game, and where it takes you. You know, the pathway from rags to riches, humble.
even
Love how
that
you
little
come across,
snippet at
man.
the end, just
Yeah,
like
it's lovely, man. It's lovely, but
satisfied.
it is. I'll tip my cap to you, man, and
Yeah, cheers.
Buffalo Trace it to you.
That's
Thank
great.
you very much, Sunshine. Thank you very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
Oh.
To watch another DP World Tour video, click here, and to subscribe, click here.